Hey guys, it's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Adventure 2020 recap and review. Today's episode is episode 24, and it's called The Final Stage, DoneDevimon. So, just going to go ahead and get right back into this. As we remember last time, Devimon was actually putting a lot of work kicking the butt of both Wiggerumon and Metal Greymon, and at some point he ended up evolving into Neo Devimon. Neo Devimon was really giving it to him, and as we all know, he was getting energy from the tower somewhere along in the digital world that was siphoning energy from the real world and giving it to him for this evolution. Once the Koshiro and his group had somewhat taken care of it, his power source was cut off, and they were able to defeat him, but not before the Dark Nightmon had used this dark crystal that was giving dark evolution, resurrected Devimon, and now he is done Devimon. Uh, we are greeted right where we left off, where the mask cracked and broke off, and you see the eye. His whole entire form melts and starts to spread within this crater where Yamato, you're all telling right, run, get back. And what forms first are two giant miasma hands. And as the rest of his form starts to go from tip to head and he forms, we are greeted with the sight of done Devimon. Trying to get this thing a little time to adjust. It's very hard to adjust. I'm grabbing this straight off of a Wikimon site. That's what this guy looks like. He was not on all fours for most of the episode. He was actually standing straight up in the air, but that is what he looks like. And I'll just read you a little excerpt from his digital file. Taken straight, this is the official picture taken straight from Bandai Toei. It said a form of Devimon that took in negative data to its limit and became Megaform. Its mental state lies between normal and abnormal, and once angered, its intelligence vanishes and it attacks with a ferocious look. Digimon that are attacked by a berserk done Devimon disappear without a trace. And we're going to get a glimpse of that as we go through this. Well, uh, at this point, he's just, you hear a cackle once he gets that wide smile. Once you have seen Done Devimon, I just showed you. Looks like he is very much inspired by Devilman. His attitude, the way he's acting, reminds me of Kid Buu from Dragon Ball Z, but his look overall reminds me of Devilman. And Tokumon actually says, he's a Mega Digimon, and he's wondering if this is the part that the evolution Devimon was aiming for. And he's saying that this isn't Devimon. Devimon isn't Devimon anymore. Only his powers evolved, and he says his mind is ... His mind is gone. Just he's letting out a roar. His tongue is hanging out. He's going fair on berserk. He doesn't even talk anymore. And Taichi and Yamato just give a nod, and they both run forward. Yamato's telling Takaru, "Hey, no matter what happens, you run and stay away." Their digivices are glowing, so we kind of get that same feeling like maybe they're going to go to Omnimon / Omegamon. Well, everybody's right on top of Metal Greymon and Kaiser Nail. Wiggerumon uses Kaiser Nail. Metal Greymon gets that rail cannon on the right arm, and those attacks are just easily deflected by these giant goopy miasma hands. And they're dodging it. They're dodging these hands ferociously because anything that touches it is going black. And as they're dodging, these two hands are about to come around Metal Greymon. Taichi remembers Takaru, and he remembers Yamato, and he just pushes Yamato straight off. Him and Metal Greymon are wrapped up in these giant hands, and they're just burned. Just like Metal Greymon was burned before with Splashmon, they are definitely getting really, really burnt. They're getting damaged pretty bad, to the point where Metal Greymon uses Gigastorm to push them out of it, but they're already hurt. A lot of what Devimon is doing is just reminding me of Kid Buu, and I'm remembering how that went down for the heroes in Dragon Ball. And on the other side, we're seeing with Koshiro and his group and their Digimon, they're still fighting Algromon, and they're fighting Algromon's rookie form and in training form. And it's just thousands of these things. They're having a really hard time because They're not Omnimon. They can't do one fell swipe and kill everything. They're getting surrounded and they're getting hurt. And Altair Kabuterimon tell Ash Coach Rose there's something going on their side of the world. And it actually turns out in the Strait of Hormuz, two large vessels have actually collided. And it looks like all across the world, tankers and vessels on the sea are just colliding with each other. And they're trying to figure, they're trying to get it done, but this is a very difficult task that they have undertaken. So, Wagurumon goes into Sagittarius mode because him and Yamato and is, hanging off of him. They're going straight forward and they're shooting the lasers, trying to hit DoneDevimon. DoneDevimon just rises up. They do a nice little cool move where they shoot these beams that start making these stairways. Platforms. I call them stairways, but they're platforms, and they're jumping from platform to platform. He's going for a point blank Kaiser nail, but DoneDevimon's massive wings are able to just completely block the attack. It doesn't do anything, and it's very easy for him to grab him. And at this point, this is when I realized that DoneDevimon is a massive Digimon, because King Kong style, he has engulfed Wagurumon and Matt with just one hand, and he blasts them with a pinkish red flame that the point blank range knocks them both out. They're both unconscious, and this is actually the first time in a while we've seen a Digimon get knocked from his form to go back to his rookie form, which is exactly what happened. Takaru is calling out to his brother. He sees he's knocked out, sees hurt. He's moving forward, and of course, the evil eyes of DoneDevimon narrow, and one of the massive hands is gathering this purple energy, and he's getting ready to fight. And Taichi is trying to get there, but his whole left side is just blackened from this dark miasma, and Metal Greymon can barely move as well. Well, DoneDevimon, shoots this beam at them. Tokomon is able to use his light energy to shield them. They're in this bubble, and they got shielded from the blast, but DoneDevimon, you saw him on all fours. This is when we finally see him. He's on the ground. He's just moving towards them. It's just using his hands and just swiping, trying to get at him. And then Taichi is just thinking back to Yamato and Gabumon being hurt, thinking back to, TK's probably going to get hurt. And he says the one thing that we all know when stuff is going down in anime. He says Yamero. He's telling them stop. His eyes start to glow, but the dark patch on him glows first. And that's engulfing him, and he's succumbing to this dark energy, as is his partner Digimon, Metal Greymon. So now they're full-on red-eyed berserker mode. They're going in, they fire a barrage of Giga Blasters. It's at the point where Metal Greymon isn't speaking anymore. It's just shooting the missiles out of them, right? And they get a chance to pin down DoneDevimon, which also shows how big Metal Greymon is. He pinned him down with his feet, and he's trying to stab at him with that metal claw, and DoneDevimon's just dodging. And we get to a point where DoneDevimon is just rises up and bites Metal Greymon on the shoulder. Well, this allows him to do a point blank Giga Storm, large explosion and all that. Does not die. He gets right back up, and Taichi's on the ground, and he's thinking about everyone that was been hurt and everyone that's there with them. That group, he's thinking about them being hurt. He's giving out this loud yell, and then DoneDevimon, while he's laughing and smiling, and his laugh has this weird echo to it, and long tongue just freely flowing. He pulls a magical Madoka and eats Tai with one bite. Doesn't bite him off. It's just mouth over whole body. Tai's gone. Metal Greymon's eyes widening, full on berserker mode. He's rushing towards DoneDevimon, trying to kill him. DoneDevimon is, of course, still hurting him with these miasma hands, but we get a very familiar silhouette that comes over Metal Greymon. He's succumbing to this darkness and this anger. If you remember, when Greymon goes to Metal Greymon, we get a flash of the Machine Dramon biting on top, which is an allusion to, the metal carapace top and the fact that he's going into a cyborg mode. And Metal Greymon can digivolve into Machine Dramon, which is this guy here. But the form he takes is all red, and it doesn't have those cannons on the back. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And if anybody has seen Shin Godzilla, if you haven't, uh, YouTube the trailer to Shin Godzilla, because the segmented uh, stubby tail starts to extend and fires a laser beam that's just hitting everywhere. It gets to the point where Takaru should be worried that he's going to get hit because it's going past and between him and his brother and their partner Digimon. And I consider this a Dark Digivolution, but they never fully said this was Machine Dramon. And I'm just checking my notes real quick. So Tokumon's saying that Metal Greymon is consumed by anger, and at this rate, he's going to go the route of DoneDevimon, right? If you ever saw the first Digimon Season 1 or the Digimon Adventures, as it's called in Japan, remember that by Tai pushing Agumon and Greymon so much to Digivolve because they were under so much pressure, instead of him turning to Metal Greymon, turned to Skull Greymon. This seems to be a reversal of this because our chosen ones in this show are used to having their champion adult forms and their not perfect, but their they do call them perfect forms. They're perfect ultimate forms. They're ultimate and champion forms. They're used to it. But with this, trying to get to the next level, it's a lot of emotion that's going into it, especially since they're digivolving quickly. And at this point, the anger is taking over him. Galumon ends up waking up because at this point, the lasers are getting too close. Galumon wakes up, grabs everybody, and gets into the side. Yamato slowly waking up. Devimon is doing a crab walk backwards. He's full on exorcist at this point. And again, this Metal Greymon slash almost into Machine Dramon form uses his legs and stomps on Devimon to hold him down and pin him down. And he uses if you've seen Machine Dramon, that's the Metal Claw from Metal Greymon. That is a weird pincer like thing that a lot of machine Digimon have. Pinning him down, he's using his literal head to just bash him like an extra fist. Not biting him, just bashing him. And in retrospect, it looks kind of funny, but I can understand what they were going for. And there we go. And DoneDevimon goes to close these wings again. Half machine Metal Greymon bites these wings off. Just bites them, tears them, rips through them. And at this point, the miasma arms are grabbing him by the head, burning him. He tries to use that same tail laser. DoneDevimon looks at it and uses his regular massive arms to grip it, and it just basically makes it kind of I won't say self-destruct, but becomes unusable because the beams don't go anywhere and he breaks it. And the horns that he has and the horn collar he has, they glow. He's gonna stab him. Doesn't get a chance because he's trying to hold him back and he's trying to hold him down. And if I can actually see if I can show you guys. So not just the collar, he has horns right there. And he's trying his best to stab our boy, our very enraged, sad boy. And he's holding him back, and he's doing the best he can. And at this point, DoneDevimon is getting the upper hand, and it's just pummeling him. Remember the data entry I read you. Once he gets berserk, there's really usually nothing left of the enemy, and he's just pounding into him. Tokumon goes for, and as he's like seeing all this, getting upset, jumps forward and asks Takaru TK to give him some help. And Takaru moves forward. We see the crest of hope between the two of them. And I thought he was digivolving, but he wasn't. What's going on is their Takaru's energy from the Digivice and Tokumon's natural energy are working, and then within the mindscape, again, they're in the digital world, so now we're going into the mindscape. We see Angemon in the mind of the berserking Metal Greymon slash Machine Dramon form, and he's telling him, "Don't succumb to the anger. Calm your heart and listen to the person who is irreplaceable to you." And within that mindscape, we can see DoneDevimon in the background. We can see the silhouette of Taichi, and we hear Agumon's voice calling. He's like, I can hear someone calling me. And he just breaks through that red form that's in this mindscape. Completely breaks through, and he's going to Taichi. Now, at this point, on the other side, the red form starts to crack, and it's a really great visual. And this yellow light is beaming through the same yellow light that's seen from Tokumon and his various forms, and Takaru. And what breaks forth is something that deeply resembles our boy War Greymon. Everybody remembers War Greymon, and War Greymon silhouette is seen in the opening of Digimon Adventures reboot. Well, this form breaks through. DoneDevimon is trying to block the light. He jumps up into the sky, and as he tries to make a counterattack, this light form, and when I say light form, it's the silhouette. It's everything, but it's not a solid color. It's a solid yellow, and it doesn't have the wing shield. Blast straight through Superman style, breaks through DoneDevimon, and this death is almost instant. It's like Gohan killing Cell Jr.'s instant, because DoneDevimon gets that dark green pixelation that the Digimon get when they're about to die, dies, and in the silhouette of War Greymon slash Agumon, within that silhouette's arms is Taichi, and they both slowly fall down. The War Greymon silhouette that is not officially named yet becomes Agumon. Taichi and Agumon on the ground. The others are making their way towards them. It's all tears. We're glad we defeated the evil. And then the whole ground starts to rumble. And that is where the episode ends. Well, it ends because first Agumon's stomach rumbles, and it kind of stirs tight. Taichi. Taichi's like, "Oh, hey, you're here." But unfortunately, the ground starts to rumble. Episode ends there. And the encyclopedia for today was Garudamon. And the funny factoid was given was Coach were wondering if her long hair gets in the way of her doing battle. And he actually said he heard Tentomon saying he wished he had long hair, which is kind of funny. Next episode's encyclopedia is going to be Altair Kabuterimon. And looks like the next episode is going to have two of my favorite Digimon, Mamimon and Big Mamimon. I love Mamimon. It's one of the first ultimate level Digimon in all of Digimon from the digital pets and from Digimon World. Big fan favorite. There's tons of Mamimon forms, but looks like our duo, well, TK's there, but our duo gonna be working with Leomon again. And next episode is called Dive to the Next Ocean. No clue. I've been avoiding the episode names and not reviews, but synopsises that I've seen online. I've been dodging those. I want to go into these fresh and give you my fresh ideas and what I believe. I don't even watch the what's happening up next, because once the episode's done, they put them up. They put up the previews online on the YouTube pages. I don't even watch those. I want to come in fresh and give you lots of speculation. So I wrote some extra notes because I realize sometimes I forget to say certain things. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say the colored forms, like when it's just all one color and there's no different colors, no different shades to them, I'm going to go on a limb and say that that's probably like a precursor to the evolution. Once they get the more finer details, and once you get the War Greymon metal wing shields, or you get the Machine Dramon Giga Cannons on the back, that's when you're fully in that form. Kind of sucks a little bit that they say it seems like Machine Dramon is the form that's full of anger, given that the main hero from the Digimon World series, when he showed up in the PlayStation 3 and PSP game Digimon World Next, he's the hero, and his main Digimon is Machine Dramon. But again, in different universes, Digimon have two Digimon of the same kind can be two totally different Digimon. So I digress. I bow down to that. Um, Made a note about Big Mamimon. I love Mamimon. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with this. We're gonna see Eldoradimon too. So, uh, I think this was a much better arc and ending for Devimon as compared to the original Digimon Adventure. Because in the original Digimon Adventure, he was toiling in the background, he was messing with them, and he took over Leomon's mind, and he had Ogremon as a lackey and Leomon as a lackey. He was just using the dark gears to control the Digimon, and we see him once and he separates something, we see him again, and then he suicide dies with Angemon, and that's it. This was much better. We get glimpses of him all the way up until when the children beat Nidhoggmon with Omnimon slash Omegamon. He finally shows up and says, "I am Devimon," or Leomon says, "That's Devimon," and we find out who our big bad is. And the next 5 or 6 to 7 episodes, we're fighting his lackeys. We're dealing with what's going on in the real world and what's going on in the digital world, trying to figure out what's going on. We get Takaru. We finally get the Holy Digimon. We see Angemon. Then we see Toko. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention, Tokomon Digivolved the Patamon before the episode ended. So there we go. We finally get Patamon, guys. We get Tokomon the Patamon. Get Poyomon too. And we get to see Devimon. Not only did we see him, the champion form and the ultimate form, Neo Devimon, were in one episode, but we got to see how strong he was. When he has that miasma, he can take on two ultimate level Digimons. When he's getting digital data from the real world siphoned into his now Digivolve form, he can take on two ultimate. This is showing that the evil Digimon are fighting on par with the Digimon and the Chosen Children, because their bond, the Chosen Children and their partners, is what gives them power. Like I said, they fight side by side. If you're a bad guy and you're fighting by yourself, you're using the Dark Crystal, which someone in the comments last episode mentioned to me that it looks like the crystals from Moon Millennium Mon. That's a good thought, good eye. Moon Millennium Mon is either going to be the final fight, a mid-final fight towards the end of the series, or it's probably, the power they're siphoning to get this dark Digivolution energy and this dark energy that the evil Digimon are using to combat our heroes. uh, and I guess two more things I'll touch on. I'll touch on, I love the fact that the Crest of Hope, like that light, the Tokomon and Takaru, they're helping out. They're doing a lot more. Their light and their energy is calming down the guys when they're upset. It's helping them digivolve and helping them give them more power. They're not just standby, not just this. You're this great holy Digimon that can do all this cool stuff. Well, they give them more of a role, and that's amazing. Um, Video's getting kind of long. I did want to touch on how people complain that this reboot, Adventure 2020, seems like it's just a monster of the week. Guys, you need to go back and watch the original season 1, season 2. Season 1 was heavily monster of the week, and the pacing was kind of weird. Just sit back, enjoy the show, watch it to the end. If you like the original still, that's fine. You still have it, but chill out. So, tell me, what did you think of this episode? Were you excited? I didn't even give it a rating yet. It's a 5. It's a total 5. This was a great wrap up of what happened to Devimon. Devimon digivolved through death, being used by the darkness, used one of his followers, one of his acolytes, and it was a great wrap up for him. We got to see how strong the guy really is and how strong he really was, and I'm wondering who comes after this. I really like what they're doing with megaforms. They're placing a lot of emphasis on it, and it's not, we're getting to the last 15 to 20 episodes, then we see, oh, there's Malomyotismon, the giant, well, Venomizemon, the giant mega. Then we get the 2 megas, and oh, there's 4 bad megas. So, and then the last villain is a mega. So we only get 7, 4, 2, 3. Sorry, 8. Sorry, 9 megas towards the end of the first season, and we only get what 3 new megas in season 2. The 3 were Malamautismon, Imperialdramon, and Black War Greymon. No, we're getting more megas for our buck, and I love it. So, again, let me know what you thought of the episode. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of more videos like this. I know this one is longer than my other ones, but this was a great episode. I wanted to cover all my bases. Please remember to share the video so other people can see what we think, feel, and love about Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot. As always, guys, please be good, be blessed, wear a mask, wash your hands, Black Lives Matter, and as always, I will definitely see you next time.